Hello and welcome back to the ministry, and we're going through my prayer course. And today we are discussing fasting. Fasting! This is something that I had to learn. How it helps you better your relationship with God when applied to prayer and when done together will create a Holy Ghost filled anointing that will give you insight through consecration, wisdom. For if any one of you lacks wisdom, you should go to God, giving generously with all without finding fault, and it will be given back unto you. Fasting. Ah, ha, ha, ha. This is a very good way of, one, changing your diet. A lot of people like to do that. I'm a vegan, vegetarian. I try not to eat meat. But I spiritually felt led to do a 3-day fast. For 3 days, I ate and drank only what the Lord led me. You have to walk in the wisdom of the Lord as to how He wants you to operate. Let Him lead you. Let Him guide you. Let Him show you the way. Not everyone is going to fast the same way. Not everyone is going to sit up there, I'm a fast and I'm not going to eat nothing for 3 days. Let me tell you something. You're going to deal with headaches. You're going to deal with stomach issues. You're going to deal with it. And I'm going to give you even this warning because I've dealt with it off and on. Especially if you have gastric issues. Gastritis, where you're dealing with gas pressure in the body. You're going to deal with pain. Physical pain. You're going to deal with pain in the back. All gas pain. All gas pain. And with this gas pain, you're going to deal with certain kind of symptoms. Some of them you're going to have to work through, and you're going to have to let the Lord lead you on how and when to eat, how to eat, if you're meant to eat. There are multiple types of fast. Sometimes, for the hardcore people, they will have, they be like, oh, a fast is a fast. You just fast all day. Meaning you're supposed to fast and you ain't supposed to eat nothing. It's only a pure fast if you do this. Sometimes situations, life circumstances, yeah, you want to fast and you want to stay in the presence of the Lord. But guess what? Your life circumstance does not allot for the ability for you to be choosy and picky like that. I remember I was in a season where I had to eat at a specific point in time. You only had the ability to eat in the morning, at lunchtime, and at dinner at night. And because of that, guess what? If you're going to fast, you better do the 12-hour one, because guess what? You may not get a chance to eat until, because you can't choose your times. Life happens. Sometimes the Lord will put you on a fast where He won't let you get no food for 2-3 days. Situation and life circumstances. Fasting, getting your flesh into submission. You are in the middle of a spiritual and physical transition, and your body needs to adjust. If you are one that eats hearty meals, your body is experiencing blockage, physical blockage, spiritual blockage. You eat something heavy, you will notice spiritual warfare will be heavy. A lot of people call it tests. You cannot avoid the testing period of a fast. Let me repeat that. You cannot avoid the testing period of a fast. 3 things will happen. God's testing, assignment, you must be able to discern the needs that will be accomplished. The enemy will try you. Lord allow you to see how you will handle it. When you're first starting, don't worry, the test isn't going to be that heavy. It's just going to be enough, but it will be a test. Know it, understand it. It's going to be an experience in the midst of it, but you're going to end up dealing with some stuff. Your life starts to flow smoothly. Things that you pray for start to manifest. But when they start to manifest, you will cry tears of joy. The bigger the thing you pray for, the longer it will take for it to manifest. Fast and pray, you shall receive. Fasting. Please, 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 please do your research. But with research, I declare and decree that you should always listen to the Lord. Meaning, let the Lord lead you to the research. Let the Lord show you and guide you. He will show you how He wants you to fast. Now, I started to get more comfortable with praying and asking for blessings. What I wanted things to slow down. I know I had to do something different in between. Seemed like things on a fast or while fasting, but I knew fasting was putting food or was not putting food within the body. A traditional fast is no food at all. I was already 100 pounds. And if I stopped eating a meal, I went down to 90 pounds. So the thought of eating or not eating no food, to me, I felt like, oh, I ain't gonna be here no more. So I said to myself, how can I do this? I started to do research and I looked through YouTube for videos. Most things spoken about on biblical principles of fasting, from how people had done water fast. I saw people who had done detoxes and how they cleaned the system out within a 2-day period, and then with like some type of master cleanse. A master cleanse is horrible. Do not do a master cleanse. I was looking as of recently. There's this guy who does these advertisements on YouTube. Maybe you've seen him. Talks about zoot poop. Now, I'm not endorsing it, but this is a new thing that helps cleanse out the body. And some of that may be part of the reasons why I have gastritis, because I'm not fully cleansing, and then I'm abruptly eating, and then I'm not eating, and then so my body's going through traumatization. Your body will go through trauma watching these detoxes. Your system will go through trauma. He sounded like they were going through bouts of food poisoning. Then finally I found a video of a pastor who did a cleanse, and the guy explained step by step the proper way that you should do a cleanse of the body in order for you to be able to sustain with no food. What you should do, how to make sure, dealing with blood pressure, how you should prepare your body for 40 days of cleansing your body. Okay? For the first 3 days, for the next 3 days, what to do on the 5th day, slowly introducing yourself back onto food when you come off the fast. The vitamins and the minerals in which you're supposed to take, all of these types of things in order to keep your system in the right active order. The fact that you should have a colonic to clear out the waste in your colon, which again, like I said, that guy was talking about that zoop oop thing that might be something that could be done, that may get backed up, that you may not have gotten because of all of your bowel tract and system abruptly stop working because you are not putting food in to clear it out. I'm going to tell you what I have been doing. I tried TLC, and when I started using TLC, I did a test run of a couple of products that were suggested to me, and one of them is called the Brownie Matrix. It's a matrix shape that has, is either chia seeds or something in it. But within, you start taking that, I noticed that my bowels started to move the way that they were supposed to. So it began to start to clean out. Now, if you're doing green juices, I do green juices as well. So depending on what kind or the way in which you've desired for your fast to be, if you want to do a liquid only fast, I would do a juice, and the way I would counteract the liquid only would be I would do I take salt on the tongue, dry mouth, allow the salt to melt. It's a trick I learned from this very man that I'm giving you the information about about the 40-day YouTube. Take the salt, let your saliva move it around until it becomes liquid. Spit it out. Do not swallow it. Do not swallow it. Do not swallow it. Let me repeat again. Do not swallow it. Don't swallow it. Do not swallow it. You want to take a little bit of water. If your mouth's too dry, put a little bit of water in there. Let it go throughout your mouth. It rises your blood pressure. Next, what I also would do, I would take an emergency vitamin C tablet or the vitamin C packet. I put that in one of my waters after having done that swishing because it rises your blood pressure, but the emergency will give you the electrolytes necessary to the healthy degree without all the sugar. And what else would I do? I would do that before I did whatever the breakfast thing. Like if I was eating a banana or whatever, because I would do a banana because I could soften that with my saliva, and it's like eating a banana is like eating nothing. I would do that if I felt myself getting any kind of faint, because I messed up the first or second day of a 40-day fast. I went out with family members. I didn't eat nothing. But that next morning, I remember I woke up so daggone dizzy. Woo! woke up dizzy. I could barely walk around the house. I was like, what in the world? I felt like I was about to fall all the way out. And I said, blood pressure. My blood pressure had dropped so drastically. And thank God I remembered the salt thing. I remembered the salt thing. I did that real quick and sat down and I waited until my equilibrium and my eyesight came back to normal. And I was good. So when I tell you be careful, be careful when doing these fasts. Medical tests may tell you need to make sure that you can withstand the fast on your body that long. What I will tell you is this. If the Lord calls you to a fast, He will get you through it. He may have you alternate, meaning you may not eat nothing for 3 days. Then He'll slowly have you juice. Then He'll slowly have you eating light meals, fruit, vegetables, salads, so on and so forth. Then He'll have you switch back. Then He'll have you maybe put in a little something. Depending on how stringent He's got your fast. He might have you put in like a little bit of something, some nuts, some walnuts, some something to get you through that period of time. But He's going to, if He got you on 40, He's going to alternate you. Now, depending on, He may call you. I know a woman, she went straight 7. I know people, they've done 14, they've done 21, they done straight. No food, just water. And some people were hardcore and they went 21 days, no food, no water. Whoo! Talk to Jesus. Talk to Jesus. Cause, bruh, I ain't got that clever. I have not gotten. The longest I've gone without food was maybe 36 hours. Maybe. But what God will do with me, because I noticed myself get a little tepid, a little faint, or extremely hungry, God gives you grace. And this is how you know that you don't have the grace for a certain lengthy fast. You get hungry as all get out. You be like, wow, I am hungry. Oh my God. Before you go on to any extensive fast calling yourself, I'm going to go and do a, don't ever call yourself onto a fast. Let me repeat that one more time. Don't you ever call yourself onto a fast, because you'll be laid out somewhere trying to figure out why in the world you was laid out, because God didn't give you the grace for that. There are ministers that have been given grace. They have done 40. They have done 90. 120. I've heard of some ministers, they got it so good. They went 365. No food. And when I say no food, I mean no food. No banana, no nothing. They ain't had nothing. I remember hearing the story about Pastor. He went into his prayer closet with the Lord, stayed in that prayer closet for over 40 days. When I tell you I have fasted, I've done 3. I've done 7. I've done 10. I've done 14. I've done 21. I've done 40. I've done, I think the longest I went was 60 days. 60. And when I tell you I did 60, I tell you I did it just like I told you. That I had a little mini meal here. I had a mini meal here. So maybe God had me eating juicing in the morning and had to eat a meal at night. But He was doing something with me. Okay? I wasn't just sitting there not eating. I treated that like the people that celebrate Ramadan. They do the morning meal and the afternoon meal after sunset. That's how I treated my 40-day fast. I was eating something. I'll do 3 days. where I'll eat a banana. I'll eat a half a banana in the morning and a half a banana at night to get through that 3-day period. Which I just say, a banana is nothing. It's nothing. It's like saying I'm gonna eat lettuce. And God's been having me do that recently too. He's been having me eat salad. Because he hasn't had me going in as intensely. Unfitting things. Avoiding immaturity. Food is fitting. Fornication. Provision for the body. Stomach. Lasciviousness. Sexual. What is it? Chastity. Sexual aberration. And God is destroying. Food is for the stomach, and the stomach is for food. But God will do away with both of them. Yet the body is for immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord is for the body. 1 Corinthians 6:13. Fasting coupled with prayer. Prayer is often possible of speaking with the Lord and staying in a prayerful mode. You can speak to God. When I first started my journey with the Lord, I just sat and I spoke to God. That's all I would do. I would sit and talk to God. I would talk to God like he was a friend of mine. I would sit and I would have conversations. I would go get in the shower and I would sit and I would just talk to the Lord. I'd cleanse my body and I'd be having full-on conversations with Jesus. Conversations with God. And I would meditate with the Lord. And this is the meditation of the Lord that I tell you about. I will go through the process, and we're going to go deeper into that when we talk about prayer, about how I would pray. But I would do visualization prayer, not understanding. Yes, you can do it, but you got to be careful that you're not bridging into New Age. Because you have to get with the Lord. You write the vision and you make it plain. I don't recall little saying sit in a vision and visualize everything which you see. Yes, you have to be able to see it. Yes, you have to allot the ability. Some of y'all don't have vision, meaning you just don't have the imagination. Sometimes you got to sit with the Lord and allow your imagination to go to those places in order to see yourself in the place which the Lord chose. This is where you see New Age people sit up there and talk about, oh, you gotta in the secret and all that kind of stuff. That's why you gotta be careful. Because like, oh, see it and bring it towards you into manifestation. Does that stuff come from God? Yes. Sorry to say to y'all, if y'all thought that stuff was just it, created by these people, it came from the Bible. They were using the Bible to create half of that stuff. Oops, sorry if I burst your bubble. Anybody that started out in New Age that came to me, that's where it came from, y'all. Sorry. Pray. Pray fervently. The prayers of a righteous man availeth much. It went smoothly, but I must warn you. Spiritual warning of fasting. As you are coming off, you tend to want to binge on food. Do not give in to that. Never give in to that. Before I go fully into this, I want to preface. This is how you come off of a food thing. Go get you some chicken noodle soup. What you making? Let me tell you something to you. It was something that I was taught when I first started I started having gastric issues with the doctor. They say that the actual oil in chicken broth, actual oil within it, it will coat your stomach before you introduce food into it. 2, you want something hot. Hot chicken broth is going to be able to help you get that gas out of your system. Okay? Because you're going to have gas. Sorry, yes, you're going to have gas. Depending on how long you go without food, you're going to have a lot of gas. Now, you can take a gas tablet, but yeah, you're going to have some gas. Now, let's talk about the Paraclete. Shall we? Jesus is the Paraclete. Jesus explains to the disciples that he has to leave them. He commits his spirit unto the Lord, and his spirit is released from his body. And this is what we call our famed Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the person of God. And you operate in walking. When you're walking in God's will, this is the Spirit of God. How he works for you, when you couple him with your angels and start doing prayer with fire. Fasting. My experience throughout the fasting process, Fasting was an enlightening experience. For me, I went through the 40-day fast. I told you about the 40-day fast. I didn't eat from sunrise to sunset. I did a 4-day detox. It was 4-day or 40-day detox. And, well, I've done 4-day detoxes where I only ate one meal in a day. Substituted other meals for detox where I do a drink of some sort. But juicing. How it provides an opening in the middle that allows God to pour his wisdom and knowledge. Let me tell you something. Juicing can be a good thing for the spiritual. Juicing can be an open door for warfare. This is how I'm going to tell you to avoid warfare with your juicing. Try your best to avoid sugar. Try to avoid. I recently did a juice, and I came to the understanding that the reason that I was dealing with a certain amount of warfare was because of the fact that I didn't take the sugar out. Take the sugar out? What you mean take the sugar out? You gotta add as much water as necessary in order to make sure it's not. If you taste that thing and that thing tastes like you drinking straight sugar, that's too much sugar and you asking for warfare. Sorry. Yes. I had to deal with that recently. I was like, wait, it's too much sugar in this. And it depends on the type of sugar. Yeah, it depends on the type of sugar. Because depending on your mix for your blend will determine the type of sugar. How old your fruit is will determine the sugar content. If you get an older piece of fruit, the more sweet it will be. If you get a new piece of fruit, the less sweet it will be. You mix a fresher piece of fruit with an older piece of fruit, you might get a good balance of the natural sugars within the fruit from causing you problems. Okay? But if you find yourself, sometimes I've done substitutes where I'll do applesauce, but like I just said, sugar content. Make sure it's the applesauce with no sugar. If you're going to use applesauce as a replacement for your liquid when you are blending your juicing. If you're going to use banana, you want to use the one, you can use the more overripe one. I've done it. Don't use the brown one, like brown one, where you open it and it's got spots in it. Can you eat that? Yes, it have fermented bananas, and you can eat fermented bananas because the tryptophan in them, I think it's tryptophan, is that what they call it? You may have to look that up, but that brown stuff, when it gets brown, that is an actual cancer prevention thing. So, yeah. One of my favorite juices. Lettuce, cucumber, spinach mix, fruit medley, strawberry, apple mango, or mango, pineapple, blueberries. Sometimes you can do corn. Like you can do corn, maybe not in the juice, but you can do corn. Broth. Oatmeal. But you find the right combination for what you want to do. Because some of them are for smoothie purposes. I add avocados. That wasn't even on that list. I add avocados to some of my smoothies. People add oat milk and stuff and all that kind of stuff because they want to be special. I don't add no milk to mine. I something about I can't get with the milk, even if it's oat milk. Something, no. Probably because I've had issues when I've added milk to certain things because of my gastritis. I have to add some type of milk to it, and I'd be in the bathroom. Sorry, you can't do that. Mix up wrong. Something. So sorry. No. If you want to go in smoothie territory, they always tell you if your smoothie, you add bananas, you add avocados. Do you want to add sugars? If you got a banana and an avocado, if you have a non-ripe banana that ain't got no sugar in it, you're going to want to add honey as your sugar substitute. Maybe you want to do Splenda. Maybe you want to, or you use some type of liquid like an apple juice or something like that. Or that you could do, and again, be cautious of the sugar. You can buy a actual small container of what you call it, one of the pre-made from the store. And I'm talking, you take that and you take one that you've already blended that has, or are blending that has avocado in it and some non-sweet. Then you pour that in there. And I'm telling you this because there are 53 grams of sugar. They say they ain't add no sugar to them. And they may not have, because the sugar from the actual fruits sitting on the shelf, what have you. But that 53 grams of sugar, honey child, you can use that as your liquid base. If you're using an avocado or a banana or something like that. If you're adding oats, because you want something that has chew to it. But yeah. And that's pretty much what we're going to talk about. I'm going to take a break and we're going to come back in the next one.